Hello, this is Kaylee Brown. This is the snapshot of Emily PowerPoint. My introductory statements. Emily knows how to use numbers by counting, adding, and subtracting. The number of learning indicators Emily has met out of the total number of learning indicators is she basically met all of them. She did struggle with a few. Emily's ability to accept direction or constructive criticism is that she is very high spirits and loves to learn. She never would back down from anything. She would continue to do the math problems. She needed help. She would ask myself for any help. So for the first game we did was anything but 10. Emily was successful. Emily successfully met using ways to use manipulatives, counting numbers in combinations of 10. For example, she could count and remember the combination numbers in this game that we would go through. I think having counters in place could have helped. We drew pictures of stars, and they caught on, and she actually caught on to that very well and understood what I was doing. Our next game was Tens Go Fish. And Emily successfully met combinations of 10, adding numbers together using visuals and memorizing. So when we were playing this game, I wrote down for her the combination of tens, so she had that as a visual. And every time she would look and see if she had a combination of 10, this was memorizing. She could remember that, hey, 6 plus 4 is 10. She also understood more and could ask for the combination that she needed help with. Actually, at the end of the fifth game that she chose was actually Tens Go Fish, and she improved so much. She actually started playing this game at home with her mom, and she could tell me all of the combinations when we went ahead and wrote them all down, and she really didn't need any help with doing this. And that was her successful meet that she did. Addition tic-tac-toe. This one was a little bit harder for Emily. Emily needs more opportunities to develop her understanding. Some add subtracting. Subtracting was the most for bigger numbers, and subtracting numbers. The subtracting bigger numbers and just the subtracting altogether just kind of was a hand in hand. She had a pretty rough time with subtracting. Emily picked two numbers and had and then I had her add them together, which she could do, but if it started to get to be a bigger number, like 12 or 13, she kind of did struggle a little bit, so we had to work it out together. For subtracting, she was having a harder time with this, which most kids usually do, and since the COVID thing started, she missed out on a lot of adding and subtracting. since she is now going into first grade and she was in kindergarten. Our next game was Compare More. And Emily's 2 recommendations for improvement, knowing the values of the card and memorizing subtraction numbers. We went over the Jack, King, Queen, and Ace for this game, and I wrote down the values of each, so she didn't have to remember. And then, as I wrote them down, she actually repeated them. And then memorizing subtraction numbers, she actually could tell me which one, how many more and how many less she did need, but like I said, with bigger numbers, with subtraction, was kind of hard for her to do. My concluding statement, what you learned by working with this student. So what I learned with working with Emily was using visuals and manipulatives. When I was younger, we really didn't use any of those. And so going back through these last couple of weeks, looking at what teachers have done with visuals and manipulatives actually was pretty awesome, and I could see that it helps kids so much. And there's so many different ways to do math. And when I was younger, there was only the one way and that was the way the teacher taught us. There wasn't any other ways, and if we try to do any other ways, we were counted wrong on our problems. Also, coming up with other ways to learn. Emily taught me many things with going through the games that I didn't think of. And really how math is so important. With the whole sickness going around with the COVID, really showed me that math is so important, especially for the kids that are in kindergarten, that are going on to first grade, that really needed to stay the whole time until May, just because math is so important. And from what her struggling with subtraction, I think it would have really helped her in the long run too if this sickness didn't happen. But we can't really help that. So that is my PowerPoint of Emily. Thank you.